Welcome to Family Business Diaries, the podcast where we unravel secrets of family businesses. I'm your host, Mary Asante Asamoah. And today, we're doing a special live episode with AFBS, as the Africa Family Business Summit. And it's under the theme, A New Wave, Women Leading Family Businesses to Success. We are joined by a dynamic trio, powerhouses. We have a founder, Auntie Afi Amoro, and her two daughters. We have Dela Mahama and Janette Duah. And I believe that, their story offers us insight into what it takes for women to lead family businesses, what it takes to innovate, to sustain, and to actually have your business thrive, across generations. I believe in the power of storytelling. So through their story, I'm hoping that you would hear, the secret behind the success, understand that it's not all rosy. You hear their painful moments as well, and truly the heart that is needed to run a legacy business. So join us on this episode.
Jandel Limited is Ghana's leading event management company, established in 1996 by the visionary Afi Amoro. For nearly 3 decades, the company has delivered some of the nation's most significant events, including presidential inaugurations, state funerals, and corporate activations for top brands such as MTN Ghana. Its reputation extends internationally with projects in Liberia, Togo, and Mexico. Jandel is also celebrated for social impact initiatives such as Light Up the City GH, the Jandel Love Ball, and the Superwoman Awards. At the heart of Jandel is a family legacy that blends experience, innovation, and creativity across generations. Afi Amoro, founder and CEO, a trailblazer in Ghana's tourism and event industry. Afi has shaped Jandel into a household name synonymous to excellence and elegance. Her leadership and industry contributions have earned her numerous awards, including induction into the Feminine Ghana Hall of Fame in 2024 and the Women's Choice Awards Africa Event Icon of the Year in 2022. Dela Amewode, Executive Director, representing the second generation. Dela brings fresh strategy and creativity to Jandel's daily operations. With a background in marketing, event management, and design, she also leads her own venture, luxury branding and gifting, and Casadel Interiors and Developers, broadening the family's influence in the luxury lifestyle and design space. Janette Duah, Chief Operations Officer. Over the past 8 years, Janette has revitalized Jandel with her dynamic creativity and operational leadership. Recognized as one of the top 100 global event planners by DWP Congress, she played a pivotal role in delivering the Africa Prosperity Network Dialogues 2024, which hosted 7 heads of states and 800 global delegates. Beyond business, Janette champions mentorship through the Drive to Inspire organization and supports charitable causes like the New Horizons School, underscoring her commitment to social impact. Together, these 3 remarkable women have positioned Jandel not only as an event powerhouse in Ghana and beyond, but also as a family-driven legacy of creativity, innovation, and service. Their combined leadership ensures that Jandel continues to evolve, inspire, and set the benchmark for excellence in the creative and events industry.
Now, welcome, ladies, my Jandel Power team. I'm so excited. All right, so just to get things relaxed, I think we should start with getting to know ourselves. So maybe tell us something exciting about you that you want the guests to know about. We can start with Auntie Afi.
Oh, I'm so excited. to tell a story, to be impactful. It's what the three of us, it's our mission today because it always begins with a dream. And that dream can go left, it can go right. We have been fortunate to continue to remain relevant for 29 years. So we are, this is what Jandel is about. As for me, the only thing I can tell you is that I am fearless. I'm not risk averse. I am strong when I'm weak, and I aim to break the glass ceiling every time I take on an assignment. And so I just want to tell you that I'm an extrovert to the core. You will see it in how I appoint myself, and you will see it in how I conduct my business. So this is me. I can dance in the middle of a dance floor, just me, because I am that confident. So this is me. This is all Afi is about, and all the other things will come.
Thank you, Auntie Afi. All right. So who wants to go next?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so excited to be here to share my insights in the family business arena. Thank you to the organizers. I'm grateful. One interesting fact about me is that I'm a proud mom of boys, two boys.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so those are my real bosses. Yeah, that's
They keep
just
you
what.
in check, huh?
Hello, everyone. My name is Dela Mahama. I'm one of the executive directors for Jandel Limited. One of the interesting things about me is I'm a super creative, and I come up with ideas even on my feet. I think we picked it up from my mom. So that's one thing about me. I'm not boxed into one area. I'm a creative person in different areas. So I think we picked it up from my mom. Janette is also very creative as well. Aside our qualifications, we intend focusing more on the creative aspects of life and design and what it has to offer. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, ladies. Extroverts, you can dance. I can't dance to save my life. Creatives, I can't cut even a straight line. Okay, it's fine. Good to know you guys. All right, so now we're going into the Jandel story. I think we start with Auntie Afi, founder. Tell us, take it to the beginning. What led you to do this? I mean, because now we know Jandel, and when you talk decor in Ghana, you cannot help but mention Jandel. But what led you to start Jandel?
Okay, it's well, I would say this was I stumbled upon this profession. It was just a hobby, and people started appreciating the hobby and started paying for it. At that time, I was working in the civil service, so it was a good side hustle. And so I was encouraged by the fact that people were paying money. So it actually gingered me to learn around what I was doing, and also to have a listening ear. A listening ear to the customer, because it is said that entrepreneurship is the definition of entrepreneurship is satisfying a need and making some money out of it. So long as I realized that I could earn some money, then my whole concentration was, how do I get bigger and how do I drive this? So I was driven by the passion to succeed and the passion to put food on the table, and then the passion to grow. So these are the three tenets that I built the business on. I was relentless. I would give flowers out for free, but it always came back to me because even if it took 6 months, the corporate bodies, my target had always been corporate bodies. So I veered into the corporate fields by giving free gifts of flowers, and that's how I started my profession. Just a hobby and a dream and God.
Just listening to that, and I think that's what some of us feel to get now. You're working in the civil service, you started this, but it wasn't just about passion. Then you started to almost like professionalize it because you were learning, you were putting in structures somehow, going out there. And that's what, so truly, you're building a legacy business right from the start. Did you know you'd have your daughters join? Did you, I mean, at that point think, hey, I want my children involved?
No, really, you know, it was quite surprising that they actually came out and then, out of school, and each of them decided, Mommy, we want to come and help you in the business. So I didn't push them because I felt that they had potential to survive in any environment that anybody put them in. But they choosing to actually be part of the business gave me a lot of joy. And that has helped us to grow the business in the way that well, let me tell you, we ain't done yet.
Not
Yes,
at all.
not by a long shot. Yes, there are so many things that we are doing. We are diversifying, looking for multiple sources of income, and not just so the Jandel that you see now has got various wings under there that are not really marketed. But we see that people recognize us in this field. And so we are leveraging on that and the name we have carved in this field to um, enter new markets, leveraging on the name.
Certainly, there's power in a name. So that's good. All right. So maybe let me move to Janette. Since your mom says you decided, we won't go into why did you decide to join the business. But when did you realize, working mother, daughter, when did you realize it was really going to work? Because when you join, they see you as a small girl. There are different emotions that you go through every single day. So when did you realize it was truly going to work?
Yes, so thank you for the question. I was born into the business and I've grown around this business. I started arranging cutlery on table from, I think, the age of 6 and packaging gifts, at a very early age, so it's something that I've already had a passion for. And it was very easy for me to want to work with my mom because our creative minds are also in sync. Okay. We our creative minds are on the same wavelength. I see something that I like, she also likes the same thing. So most of the designs that we conceptualize, she approves of, she thinks in the same way that I think. Not all the time, there are times that we have opposing views, but by and large, I'd say that we have, very similar creative minds, and that has really been helped the process. And so what we do is that the collaborative efforts between the two of us, I come in with some youthfulness and I ensure that we are in tune with the trends and we are in tune with, you know, um, technology and the trends on all fronts. And she also comes in with a wealth of experience, which cannot be undermined in any way. Initially when I joined the business, I thought that I knew it all. But that's not the same thing. I don't feel the same way now because don't play with experience. This woman comes into a room that we've set up, an event that we've set up, and we think, oh, we've done the best. And she doesn't even have to walk in. Right at the entrance, she can tell, why is the stage not aligned with the tables? Why, if you drop your chandeliers a little lower, it will make a difference. And when we do it, we see the difference, So that goes a long way to say that, experience counts for something. And those nuggets that she shares with me, and the guidance and the direction that she's given to me, I know that it would have taken me years for me to learn those things if I was on my own. So I'm forever thankful for that.
Thank you. I mean, what you say is true. You cannot, they've walked that road, they've walked the journey. And the founders have wisdom that sometimes as next gens, because we feel, oh, I've gone to school, I know what's up. You try to push your way through. But when you humble yourself and actually learn from them, you'll be amazed at the things that they have. So that's really good. Now, I keep hearing, we work together, we see things the same way, but you have another executive director, also very creative. I don't know if you see things the same way they do, but how do you manage to keep them in check? How do you manage to ensure that you're always on the same page, as a family? Dela, this is coming to you. Just, because sometimes they see things and they want to go wild, especially creatives, decor, they want to do all these things. But how do you keep things in check? Or do you also see things like they do?
Okay, so usually when there's a project to be done, an event to be done, we sit as a family. First off, we have groups like social media. I mean, not social media groups, but like a WhatsApp group that we discuss as a team. And then we also involve our staff. So as a team, we've already had our discussion and then we involve the staff. Now, with the staff, they also come with a lot of experience and knowledge. So we make sure that we fuse the two together, what we are saying versus what they are saying. And then we are able to have that synergy to achieve the greater good. It doesn't always work that we are all in sync. Sometimes Janette has an opinion, and sometimes I have an opinion. Sometimes my mom has an opinion, but we come together, we see what works, and then we make it happen. Infusing, like I said, the staff as well, because they are on the field with us. Sometimes what we see, they are not, what we don't see, they see it. So it's a collaborative effort, I must say. Yes.
That's amazing. I was actually going to ask about professionalism and, involving non-family members. So it's good that you bring this up because people say that, as a family, you have your values, you have the things that drive you. And sometimes you get so lost in that you tend to ignore the same people you've hired to work for you, right? But it's a team effort. So really good that you've brought this up. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
All right, so we've kind of discussed family dynamics, but I want to go into maybe let's talk leadership and trust because if we're building legacy businesses, family businesses, you need to be in sync. You need to make sure that you're working together. So, Auntie Afi, I'm going to put you on the spot. When did you think that your daughters, truly earned their place as leaders? Janette, for instance, said she's been in there since she was a child and all, but when did you see that she's doing this. Like, I'm a proud mama. You probably didn't say it to her, but today you confess. So tell us.
Yes. So I guess it's about time to celebrate the two of them and to let them. I want them to have their flowers because it's they say teamwork makes the dream work, and that is one of our mantras in Jandel Limited. Um, when I started the business, it was a one-man show. Then I brought it to three, and then we grew exponentially from three to about 10 staff, and then went to 27, then went to 47, then went to 73, then dropped it down, right? We dropped it down around the COVID time where we were hemorrhaging like hell because it was a very terrible time, especially for event planners and that kind of thing. So what happened was, you know, when when Dela finished her university, and I'll tell you that all these times, the three of them, the two of them, I've always encouraged them to be entrepreneurs um, by themselves. So they come to pick up stuff from my gift shop, and they go to sell to their
Hey.
yes.
Did they
So
bring the money back?
they were bringing what do you call the capital and taking the profit, because they were doing a markup on it. Yes, they were doing a markup, and so that helped them also. It was less tedious for me. They were providing for themselves through that and that kind of thing. Now, Dela finished school and said she wants to come and join us. So I said, come on, come and, let's see what you are made of. She brought in innovation as in terms of technology, social media. I was quite averse to that kind of growth because I thought that, hey, let me keep my secret so that nobody will see. When I hit the ground running, everybody will just say, wow. But that was not the trend. The trend is to expose everything that you have for people to take the decisions. And I realized that when when she came to set up those systems, we were growing exponentially. It was no longer only how would I say advertisement, traditional advertisement in the newspapers and a TV. It was now social media. And then social media was growing us exponentially because we could get business from all over the world. And that is the power of the internet that I would like to everybody to encourage everybody to imbibe in your business. And so Janette came on, and then you see we have two levels of age groups. We have Dela, who is a millennial, and and she's not a Gen Z, but she's between a millennial and a Gen Z. Yes. And what I'm talking about is that everybody brought in their level of customers or clientele. She came in with, at that time that she came in, a lot of her people, her mates were getting married. They were in new organizations, so they were recommending us. And it happened with Dela, Janette too. So we found out that at every generation, we had a new clientele that we were um, engaging. So it was something that was very exciting to watch unfold before my very eyes. So I realized that they had it in them when they were taking every aspect of the business a notch higher.
Amazing. Ladies, she's giving you your flowers, please. All right. Before I move on, Janette, maybe tell us, since you are the younger one, pre Gen Z, tell us what is one lesson you've learned? Because your mom has said all this, but what is one lesson you've learned working in the family business? So it's not just business, but the family business. What's one lesson you've learned through your journey?
Um, it's the power of collaboration for me. When we put our heads together, we do mind blowing things. So we all have different strengths, okay, and those different strengths that we bring onto the table really take us onto the next level. So I'll give you a scenario. Della she has a top social capital because she's a people's person, So most of a lot of our high net clients, Della brought them in. My mom here, she is a visionary. Okay. So she is able to give us direction on what we should invest in and direction in which we should be going. And she's also a really good communicator as well. So we leverage on that. Anytime I have a big project I want to bid for, I take her along. I say, come, if you don't have anything to do, come and help us to win this contract. So she usually comes in with that. Now on the other hand, I'm an operations person. So from conceptualization to execution and doing the day-to-day running of the business, I handle that, So in the value chain, nobody's role is undermined. We see ourselves as equal. And when we come together, we are truly a force to reckon with.
The power of collaboration. Thank you for that. I'm gonna ask very different questions. Okay, Auntie Afi, you've been in the industry long enough, and we're talking about the power of women. Dr. Sangu talked about how women make things happen. But I want you to tell us if you faced any, gender specific challenges in your industry, or maybe just tell us how your gender has influenced maybe decision making, your leadership, something to do with gender and how it's
Yes.
working in the industry.
Um, that the gender aspect, I mean, being a woman in a field that is predominantly dominated by women, you know, comes with its few challenges. And I have elected to be like a mother hen for a lot of them who are navigating the very difficult path of collaboration, of growth, and of sustaining their business. It's not easy. When you go out to pitch for work, you are faced with certain challenges. And yeah, I can confidently tell you that I've lost a couple of jobs because I wouldn't succumb. This is something that we as women, the challenges that we face, because we are a women's group, but you are going to meet the opposite gender in whatever you are going to do. How you carry yourself, how assertive you are, where how you draw the lines that should not be crossed is a thin line, but you need to navigate very tactfully. And if you do that, you will always be a winner. It is not unsurmountable to say that um, this business, I have to let it go and just take a walk, because the accounts will say, and yes, it can be an ED. Yes, but if you are able to accept that and move on, invariably with God, you'll see that bigger doors will open for you because you've maintained your dignity and you have moved on to the next level. So keep that. As women entrepreneurs, we have to have that, know that those challenges are bound to come. How you navigate them will make you victorious.
Love it. Thank you so much. All right. So, Janette, one thing about family business, I keep saying, it's not just about, we can't make noise that we're a family business. The business must be profitable, the business must be relevant. Okay. So, in the decor space, there's so much that's happening. Things have changed. I mean, there's a lot happening, right? What is it that you've done differently? I mean, since you joined Jandel, what innovative ideas have you brought? Can you share a story with us? Maybe something that went well, something that didn't go well, but tell us what you've done differently.
Thank you, Mary. So, a lot of people assume that if you are working in a family business, then it means, you know, you do nothing, or the table has already been laid for you, or you're born into privilege. But they don't realize how hard we work to maintain the name. You know, when you are working for an older business, you have to work twice as hard to stay relevant because people gravitate towards the newer brands and the newer things. So if you are not doing as much to stay relevant and to stay memorable in people's minds, you would, or doing things that will make a difference for your company, you will go down the drain. So I think that my input has been mainly, like I said before, ensuring that the business is in tune with the new trends and the new ways of doing things on all fronts, technologically, with for our operations, our designs, our executions, and everything. I just try to ensure that there's a youthful touch to everything that we do.
Okay. And I know one of the things that we all appreciate as Ghanaians is the lights during the Christmas, your project. So that's really nice. Now, okay. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, right? And when we talk about business, sometimes we're so focused on the business. Sunday afternoon, you are eating and you're talking about, so what is the next plan? So what is this? You're just talking business, business, business. But Dela, how do you ensure, or what do you guys do to make sure that, you're in sync, make sure that it's not just about work, that you stay united? Because for a family business as well, one of the key things is the family needs to be united. So what do you guys do to bond outside of work? Even though it's the same people you're working with, what do you do to bond?
Okay, so outside of work, we try to, it's not every time that we are all available. It's sometimes difficult. First of all, we are wives, we have kids, and we have a business to run. So we try at least maybe in a year 3 times to have family programs, maybe take a staycation, do something in Ghana and then probably do something out of the country, especially when the kids are on vacation. So we make it an effort. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be traveling. Sometimes we go to each other's homes and then have a meal. And then we spend the whole day there. We do that with my mom. I go to Janette's house. She comes to my house just so that we can keep our social lives also intact. It can't always be work, work, work. And Janette and my mom, they are in full operations in Jandel. And then I have another side hustle, but we are very close. I'm just 5 minutes away I'm in Laboni. Jandel is in Cantonment, but we see each other often, often. Yes. And then we try to organize family engagements as well. Yes.
Right. Thank you so much. It's so important to stay united as a family as you work towards the vision that you have. So that's why I asked. All right, to wrap things up, I think I'm going to give Auntie Afi a chance to advise founders, your classmates, your people. Give them one advice, and then I'll allow you to advise next gens. What should we do or not do? Just one advice each.
Yeah. In an ever evolving world, founders don't know it all. We have to be the first to admit it. And we have to be the first to know that we can't keep up with all the trends and all the myriad of information. Sometimes I just get dizzy. What is next? You get to the next, there's also another next, and another next. I just sometimes want to give up. But like I said, if you are resilient and you have an open mind as to new, innovative ways of doing things, then you can break that glass ceiling. I- we didn't have this light up the city in Ghana till 2019, which, and I birthed that, put my money in onto the streets of um the Accra and lit up Accra for people to enjoy. It was difficult. It was we were not really being appreciated, so we couldn't get funding for it. But once we were able to take that initiative, we ran. The next year, companies were chasing us to be part of that dream. So let's keep our minds also open to new ways of doing things and also embrace change. If you have to step away from something, please do. And know that you are just as good as the next person who will support you. Don't disregard the efforts that your staff bring onto the table, because you can't do it alone. And you can't do it with the next gen. You can't do it without the next gen. So keep your mind open. Thank you.
Founders, I hope you have heard your classmates. All right. So to my next gens, my people, one advice each. You can start with it.
So I'll keep it short. Have good conflicts resolutions systems, because they are bound to happen. We clash all the time. And it's great to have like an external advisory advisor or a board that you can lean on so that the decisions are not just solely made by the family. It's very important. They put us in check and they help us to grow.
That's very important. Thank you so much for hammering on it. Okay, Dela.
So my advice is that you can never take for granted experience. As young generations, we think that we know it all. But when we listen to those that have carved the path before us, they guide us so that we do not make the same mistakes that they made in the past. So that's my advice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So I promise to keep it short, so we'll wrap up here. But a big thank you to all three of you for sharing your story. It's been insightful. And I'm sure people have picked nuggets that they will use and apply to their own family business. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being open, transparent, super grateful. All right. So, to our audience, thank you very much for joining us on another episode of Family Business Diaries. We release new episodes monthly, and you can catch us on all podcast streaming platforms at Family Business Diaries. Check out our YouTube page, Family Business Diaries, and you can find us on social media at Family Business Diaries. See you on the next episode. Bye.